Hi, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Our devotion for today, July 27th, is from the book of Acts chapter 12, verses 1 through 5. Verse 1 and following. About that time, Herod the king laid violent hands on some who belonged to the church. He killed James, the brother of John, with a sword. And when he saw that it pleased the Jews, he proceeded to arrest Peter also. This was during the days of unleavened bread. Well, it wasn't enough for Herod Antipas to send Jesus back to Pilate for judgment and execution. Now, after Jesus' crucifixion and ascension, he takes violent action against the followers of Jesus who are proclaiming the gospel. In a short period of time, Herod has James, the brother of John, one of the, they're both the sons of Zebedee. He has James killed with the sword. James's ministry for Jesus ended much quicker than his brother's will. When violence is the action taken, it is not taken by those who follow the Lord. Violence like this is birthed by evil. Satan couldn't keep Jesus in the grave or in hell, so he tries to kill all those who were Jesus' disciples in the hopes of stopping the church. Herod kills James, and he sees that the Jewish leaders, the Pharisees, the chief priests, the scribes, they're all pleased by that. So he continues to pursue those who followed Jesus. Verse 4. And when he had seized him, meaning Peter, he put him in prison, delivering him over to 4 squads of soldiers to guard him, intending after the Passover to bring him out to the people. So Peter was kept in prison, but earnest prayer for him was made to God by the church. Okay, so James is dead, and Simon Peter is arrested and thrown in jail, and most likely will be paraded out after Passover and then executed as well. This is not good for the survival of the church. We're told that this is during the days of unleavened bread. This feast happens in conjunction with Passover. Passover is a meal. It's not a day, it's not a week, it's not a month. It is a meal. It is celebrated on the 14th day of the month of Nisan in the Hebrew calendar. The Feast of Unleavened Bread starts on the 15th of Nisan and is a 7-day feast, beginning and ending on a Sabbath. And here's where it gets weird. To confuse the issue even more, these Sabbaths differ from regular Sabbaths in that they can occur on any day. So wherever the 15th falls, that becomes a Sabbath, and then 7 days later, you have another Sabbath. Whether or not it's a Saturday, it doesn't matter. No work is done on in this 7-day period. For this feast, all leavening is removed from the household along with all leavened products. So that, leavening is yeast. So any yeast in the house and any yeast products. In the Bible, we discover that yeast or leaven is compared to sin, and this feast is an effort to remove all the sin from the household, and the unleavening bread eaten during the feast reminds the Jews of the holy bread provided to them in the wilderness by God, the manna, which they ate after they were freed from captivity in Egypt. Well, you can see how this points to Jesus and our need for Jesus. We can't, it seems, get rid of all of our yeast or leavening items and products. Yeast and leavened products the crumbs end up getting kicked under the refrigerator or under the desk or in a corner somewhere, and the odd Cheerio has rolled to a different place, and maybe some crumbs of yeast have remained in the corners of a cabinet. So you just can't get them all. They're hidden. And it points to our inability, actually, to remove all of the sin from our house. Hence the need for us to eat the holy bread of God, the manna, to cleanse us from the sin we cannot escape by our own power. Hence, Passover points to the sacrificed Lamb who forgives our sins, and the Feast of Unleavening Bread points us to the one who's not only forgiven us in his sacrifice, but becomes the holy bread of the life that we must have to sustain us in faith and in the new life that we are to live. As we continue in our faith journey in Mark, we can begin to see that Jesus really is all that we need. Go in peace, serve the Lord.